One of the things that happened after the Holocaust was there was still a small cohort of people that denied that it ever happened. There's pictures, there's museums, there's memorials. You can't deny that that happened. When you spent time there, is there an effort to start doing this? There was a moment in this documentary where this woman who was the doctor in the morgue is talking about all of these bodies, because that's the trail of evidence that allows one to know this is the totality of what happened as a learning lesson for everybody. And then to reinforce some of these basic rights that we thought we've all signed up for.
It is such an important question. 1,200 people killed in one day. Bodies were burned. People were trying to identify them. I've actually looked into this a bunch. And in a lot of sexual violence in war situations, there are no rape kits. Often in chaos, there is none. There are very few pictures. There are some, and I saw them in this documentary, and they are naked women with nails in their groin. I saw these pictures. What's interesting about it is the people who are the first responders are taught not to take pictures, particularly of gruesome things. They don't have the victims' rights.
Yeah.
But the man I interviewed, he said 24 hours in, he thought to himself, no one's going to believe this. I got to take pictures. And against the training he had, he took the pictures and he showed me on his phone. He was like, I took this. And what meets the legal criteria for proving crimes against humanity? Eyewitnesses. A woman in Israel named Kochav Levy, who's fantastic. She is from a private university doing that documentation, which at this point are mostly considered of interviews. There are hundreds of them. I hope people watch. In the documentary, I go into a field with this guy, Rami. I'm sure you guys remember this. He stands like this tall over me. Private citizen. This guy is the biggest hero I've ever met in my life. Sirens go off. He gets into his car, takes his gun, and drives to where...
Incredible bravery.
Rescued hundreds of people himself. He got to a field, and I stood in those trees. And he said, these trees, about 30 women were there and raped or sexually brutalized. When he saw them, they were naked, tied to trees, legs spread, bloodied. Bloodied in the regions you would be bloody if you were raped. What he said in the film is, I got there, I covered their bodies so no one else would see. He didn't take pictures. I wish he had. He said, I saw this with my own eyes, and what you saw in the film is this huge man who's so brave, fought terrorists himself, crying because he didn't get there early enough to save those women. Rami's story, he took no photos, and he will tell you why he took no photos. He covered those bodies so no one would see. While the victims were killed, the first responders are alive, and their testimony, which is eyewitness testimony, meets the criteria of any international global court.